All right, welcome back, ladies. We are still talking female physiology, and this quick video is going to be all about menopause. Now, you may think it's redundant for us to discuss menopause right now, but realistically, in the next 10, 15, 20 years, the majority of us will go through menopause. And I have a fair few women of that age that I train. So I feel it's really important for us to understand how the hormones can actually change how everything works for us, okay? And the number one thing that women come to me with when they're going through menopause is the fact that they find losing weight during and after menopause really, really hard. Now, this is due to kind of hormonal changes, stress, and the aging process, okay? They're all going to be working against you, okay? However, there are several steps that you can take to make your weight loss easier at that time. So if anything, if I were you, I would download this video and I would keep it for the future when you are going through it, so you can come back and go, okay, Ush taught us this, and now I understand about menopause, okay? So there are a couple of things which happen. So menopause officially starts when a woman hasn't had the menstrual cycle or the period for 12 months, okay? And during this time, it is going to be quite hard to lose weight. So a lot of women actually find that they start putting on weight during kind of the perimenopausal phase, which can begin a decade before menopause. So menopause usually happens around the mid-50s, I think, ish, to 60s, okay? Or probably not even, yes, but early to mid-50s. So early to mid-40s, or mid-40s onwards, you might start realizing that you're putting on weight because you're in that perimenopausal state, okay? So there are several factors, as I said before. So this includes kind of hormonal fluctuations. So both either very elevated or very low levels of estrogen can cause fat storage, okay? So if your estrogen isn't at this constant state and it goes too high or it goes too low, you can have fat storage happen. You will lose muscle mass, okay? Now, again, this is due to age. We don't move as much. There's a decrease in physical activity and hormonal changes as well. You probably won't sleep very well. So a lot of women have trouble sleeping through menopause, and poor sleep, as we know, we've spoken about it before, is linked to weight gain because you just don't have the energy to go and train or the energy to move or the energy to go out. And there can be an increase resistance to insulin, okay? So women can often become insulin resistant as they age, which makes losing weight more difficult, okay? So if you become insulin resistant, it's likely to, it can be a warning sign that you're going to get type 2 diabetes as well. So what's more, so fat storage shifts from like the hips and the thighs to the abdomen during menopause, okay? And again, this is a risk to, a risk for type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and a risk of kind of metabolic syndrome as well. So strategies to promote the loss of belly fat are really important at this stage of a woman's life. Now, calories are important. As we know, we've been talking about calories, we've talked about feeding ourselves, but low calorie diets do not work well long term, okay? So you can't go, I'm in menopause, I'm going to eat 1,000 calories a day. No, that's not going to work, okay? Yes, a deficit is needed, but it cannot be too low because you still need that energy to go through the phases, your body, the changes your bodies are going through. So during and after menopause, a woman's resting energy expenditure, so the number of calories you burn whilst resting, decreases, okay? So although it's going to be tempting to go on a very low calorie diet, it's going to be the worst thing you can do, okay? So if you go on a low calorie diet, you can cause a massive loss in muscle mass and a further reduction in metabolic rate. So it might help short term, but long term, you are not going to be very well after menopause or during menopause if you don't eat enough, okay? Also, there is a high risk of bone loss. So, you can risk of osteoporosis, risk of brittle bone and stuff like that if you're not eating enough calories. So the best thing to do is be a bit more restrained on the food that you're eating. So like watching your portion sizes rather than going into a massive deficit. That's going to help you with weight loss, okay? And obviously adopting a healthy lifestyle is going to help long term with your metabolic rate, with your muscle, and just with general health and well-being. So what is the best type of weight loss during menopause? Okay, so it's obvious that, and we all know this, like as we become older, we become less active. However, exercise is going to be more important than ever in and after menopause. Okay, so exercise will improve your mood, it will improve healthy weight, it will improve your muscle mass, it will protect your bones. The best type of exercise to do is resistance training, okay, with weights or with bands, okay? So it can be really, really hard to get in that motivated mood, but you are starting now. Count yourself lucky that you are learning the basics of resistance training and cardio training and circuit training right now, because you are building that muscle. So it's going to take longer for you to lose that muscle, okay? But if you continue to do what you're doing now, if you continue to work on your muscle mass, then actually, as you go through menopause, you probably won't even feel the effects of it, because actually you're increasing your lean muscle mass, okay? And it's kind of reversing the effects of menopause. So, okay, you're going to go through it. Granted, it's going to happen at some point in your life, okay? But having that muscle mass is going to make going through it and after it a lot easier for you. Look at Madonna, look at J-Lo. I mean, Madonna's for sure gone through menopause. I don't know about J-Lo, but look at how strong they are. They are strong because they do things like resistance training. They do things like yoga. So the more active you are, the easier it's going to be for your body to get through that phase of your life, okay? The thing is, what we don't want to do is we don't want to go too heavy. So one of the main things we need to focus on is reducing that belly fat, okay? So abdominal fat, especially during menopause, because that's where you're going to put it on. So what you want to do is you want to go, a good weight. So we're not talking go low, like 2-3 kilos. We're talking, 5, 6, 7 kilos, maybe even up to 10, depending on how strong you actually are, and go for kind of more repetitions. And that is going to help you reduce fat, okay? The other thing that's really good is aerobic exercise. So studies have actually shown that it can reduce belly fat while preserving muscle mass during weight loss, okay? So you're already doing some cardio. So whether you're walking, whether you're doing the, 45 seconds on, 20 seconds off, whether you're doing circuit training, all of this is aerobic. So actually, you don't need to worry about that too much, okay? So make sure you've got a mix of strength training and aerobic exercise for your strategy of weight loss and fitness during menopause. Other things you need to think about during menopause is you need to eat plenty of protein, okay? Protein is going to keep you full and satisfied. You know that. It's going to increase your metabolic rate. You know that. It's going to help you to reduce muscle loss. You know that. It's going to help you lose weight. You know that. And it's going to help you build muscle fibers. Hence, easy transition into after menopause. You need to include some dairy product, okay? So if you're vegan, then find dairy alternatives, but research suggests that actually dairy products can help you lose fat whilst retaining muscle mass through menopause. Again, think cheese, think yogurt, think cottage cheese. I'm not a fan of milk personally, but if you do drink milk, then a little bit of milk as well. You want to eat food which is high in soluble fiber. So consuming foods with high fiber like flaxseed, Brussels sprouts, avocados, broccoli can increase insulin sensitivity, okay? So it's the opposite of insulin resistance, okay? So also it can reduce appetite and promote weight loss because fiber helps to keep you fuller for longer. They say green tea is really good as well. So the caffeine content in green tea may help to burn fat, especially if it's combined with resistance training. But if you're like me and you're caffeine sensitive, then unfortunately green tea is not great for you. I actually only drink decaf now. I only drink decaf coffee or normal tea once a week, if that. And the other thing would be to practice mindful eating. So when you're eating, focus on the meal you have in front of you. Try not to eat in front of the TV. Try not to eat while you're writing or you're doing your work on your computer. Try not to eat while you're on your phone. What you want to try and do is build this relationship with food where the food is nourishing your body, okay? You can feel it go in. You can feel it fill you up, and then you end up eating less. So that is what mindful eating is. So menopause, unfortunately, is going to happen to all of us. It's something that we have to prepare for. The fact that you're on this path now is going to help you prepare for it long term. You're building the muscle right now. So continue doing this while you're going through menopause, okay? Don't give up, because you'll only just lose the muscle mass, okay? Make sure you're doing resistance training. Make sure you're eating the protein, the dairy, the fiber, mindful eating, okay? You don't want to go into a massive calorie restriction. Listen to your body. Eat well and listen to your body. Like tonight, I ate well. I actually had a spinach curry and some chapatis tonight, so roti tonight, because I just didn't fancy protein. And so I'm under my protein allowance today, but you know what? I feel good for it, because actually I ate something I really wanted and my body was craving the green stuff, so I had the green stuff. So keep eating mindfully throughout the next phase of your life, and then through menopause and beyond. Okay, and that's it really. That's how menopause can affect you, but you've got the tips and tools here to make it a lot easier on your body. So hope that was useful.